guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, y'all have been asking about, Richard, what happened to the Moo free stocks? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's back. Moo is offering up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock when you open up a new Moo brokerage account. First link down in the description box, man. NVIDIA is the most valuable company in the world with over a $4 trillion market cap. And the good folks at Moo are offering you up to $1,000 of NVIDIA stock when you open a new Moo brokerage account. All the details are down in the first link in the description box. So click on that Moo link and check out what you need to do in order to qualify for up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock. Also, guys, don't forget about the Wealth Builders, the fastest growing financial community on Patreon, man. We got over 2,000 wealth builders in our financial community, and all we do in that community is help each other build wealth with golden nuggets, best practices, what's working and what's not working. And we provide a safe haven for people to remove themselves out of the matrix and come join a financial community that got their back. And of course, that's where your boy giving out the real game. So if you're interested in joining the Wealth Builders, that's the second link down in the description box. Just click on them. Click on both of those links and check them out, guys. Well, guys, today we're going to talk about another stock that I believe can change lives. Certainly can change my life. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is me just sharing an idea with you guys, sharing a stock that I have run across that I believe could change my financial life forever. Doesn't mean it'll change yours. You got to go out and do your own homework. You got to go talk to your licensed financial advisor to get you some clarification on which direction you want to go when it comes to any of your investment needs. But for me, this particular stock, this $8.17 per share stock, I believe perhaps could change my life forever if I decide to, go ahead and plant some seeds. But let's talk about this company. The name of this company is Rumble. That's right, Rumble, R-U-M-B-L-E, ticker symbol R-U-M. Now let's talk a little bit about who is Rumble. Rumble Inc. is a technology company that operates a high-growth video platform and provides cloud services. It was founded in 2013 and is headquartered in Longboat Key, Florida. Man, they right up the street from me. This is a hometown company, man. I love it. I love that. So Longboat Key, Florida is where they're headquartered at. And what does Rumble offer? Well, let's run through that. Rumble offers a free video sharing and live streaming platform called rumble.com, where users can watch, share, and upload content. They also provide locals.com, a platform for creators to offer subscriptions and exclusive content, and Rumble Cloud, which provides computing storage and networking services. You guys kind of see where this thing is going with some of these companies that are multifaceted. They don't just do one thing. Now, this particular company here does quite a bit, man, which I like. I love the diversification of this company, right? They're just not kind of pigeonholing themselves into one little niche. They do a variety of things, which I really like. Let me make sure you guys understand this now. It says Rumble offers a free video sharing and live streaming platform called rumble.com. So right off the bat, you make a video, you want to share it with the world. Guess what? You can go on to rumble.com and upload your video, or you can do live streams on there as well. That is certainly up to you. That's one part of their business. Another part of their business is what they call locals.com, which is a platform for creators offering subscriptions and exclusive content similar to Patreon. I would imagine, right? Similar to Patreon. And then, of course, rumble.com is similar to who? YouTube, right? So two different, niches under one company. And then here's the third one. They also offer a cloud. They're a cloud provider, right? Where you can, of course, they're not like the hyperscalers like Google or AWS or Azure, but still they offer cloud services, which provides computing storage and networking services. So 3 niches in one company, guys. I think that's smart, guys. So Rumble's mission and positioning. Let's talk about that. Rumble aims to restore a free and open internet. That's its mission, guys. They want to restore a free and open internet. It positions itself as an alternative platform, particularly for smaller creators, emphasizing creator autonomy and aiming to avoid cancel culture. So they're just saying, listen, guys, you got these big old gigantic platforms out there, but they're going to put more restrictions and guidelines on you. We're going to cater more specifically to the smaller creator who doesn't want all of those restrictions, right? That's what they're saying. That's what it reads to me. You guys may read it differently. Key aspects of Rumble's platform. Creator guidelines. Rumble prohibits certain content like pornography and harassment. The platform is sometimes described as having a right-wing or anti-establishment leaning. Okay, now, so this is what I'm reading here. So you got to get onto that platform and check it out for yourself, right? So monetization, users can earn revenue from their videos through subscriptions on locals.com. So you can earn you some revenue on there from, of course, videos and subscriptions. Acquisitions. Rumble has acquired platforms like Locals and Callin, if I'm pronouncing that right, Callin. So they've acquired a couple of these little smaller deals and rolled them up into their umbrella. Controversies. Rumble has faced legal issues, including lawsuits against Google and Meta, and has been blocked in some countries. So you don't really want to tangle. Listen, Rumble, I like you, and I think you could be a big thing, but you really don't want to tangle with Google and Meta. These are hyperscalers. These are mega caps. These are 2 of the world's largest companies. I don't know if you really want to get in a dogfight with them, but I get it. So we'll talk about the financials on this company in a second. So let's move on and talk a little bit about some of the competitors, right? While Rumble, and really what you really want to talk about is one of their main competitors on the video side, right? The video and the live streaming side. Let's talk about their main competitor. While Rumble has seen impressive growth and presents a compelling alternative to YouTube, it's unlikely to fully replace YouTube in the foreseeable future. So on that video side and on that live streaming side, that would probably be who they aspire to be like, which is a YouTube. Now, they can't compete with YouTube. YouTube is a 900-pound silverback gorilla. Can't really compete with that. They down here as one of the little baby gorillas. They're not a silverback yet. YouTube is a silverback, head of the whole streaming and video thing, right? But Rumble is down here as a little baby gorilla looking up at this big 900-pound silverback saying, maybe one day we can grab some of that market share, right? But so on the video side, and of course on the live streaming side, that's who they aspire to be. So Rumble's smaller user base and niche focus, meaning it primarily serves a specific audience. So that's what they kind of, say about themselves. They have a smaller user base and it's more niched focus. It primarily services a specific audience, while YouTube remains the dominant platform with a vastly larger global reach, which makes sense. Again, YouTube is owned by who? Google. Google is who? A hyperscaler, a mega cap, one of the world's most valuable companies. They're probably one of the top 7 most valuable companies in the world. So it's kind of hard to try to come out competing, trying to take over them. But here's the thing, guys. And this is what I like about this platform. It's always good for competition to try to grab a little bit of market share. Again, they don't need to be a Google. They don't need to be a YouTube. What they need to do is just continue growing their revenue. I like that they got 3 or 4 different revenue sources coming in. I like the locals.com thing, and I like obviously the cloud services thing. I think the cloud services thing is the one that they can really scale, because that's the one, in my opinion, is where the rubber meets the road. If they can scale that thing and get that thing going and become a mid-size cloud services provider, whoo, that's a lot of revenue in my opinion. So that's sort of what I see. What would attract me to this company as an investor is that cloud service provider piece. If they could grow that business, oh my goodness, it could be a game changer for Rumble. So let's talk about, here are some detailed look. What are Rumble's strengths? And then we're going to get to the numbers, and then we're going to get on out of here. So Rumble's strengths: creator-friendly policies. Rumble offers, and this is, I'm talking about the video and the live streaming. Remember, their main competitor, really not a competitor, because YouTube is the 900-pound silverback. But for them to aspire to be, they want to be a YouTube. So here's their strengths on that side of their business, the video and the live streaming, right? So their strengths are creator-friendly policies. Rumble offers a higher revenue share for creators, up to 60% compared to YouTube, 45%. Now, again, go out and do your own research, guys. In my opinion, YouTube's compensation when it comes to ad revenue, when you qualify for that ad revenue sharing program, is 55% for the creator, 45% for YouTube. Now, they got it a little backwards here. Go do your own research, but I'm a YouTube creator, so I believe it's 55% for the creator, not 45% where they're saying here. But nevertheless, they're saying they give 60%, right? They're saying they give 60% to the creator, up to 60% to the creator, where in most cases on the YouTube side, it's 55% to the creator. Now, again, go do your homework. I'm not an expert on YouTube revenue. I'm not an expert on Rumble revenue. I'm just reading this information that I've went out and gathered to share this idea with you. So please go out and do your own research, come up with your own conclusion. But they are saying their revenue split is higher than YouTube. I can't confirm that or deny that. You got to go do your own research on that one. Monetization control. Creators on Rumble have more control over how their videos are monetized. Go do your research on that one. Growing user bases. Rumble has significant growth, reaching 87% user retention post 2024 election cycle. Okay? Ideological alignment. Rumble appeals to creators and viewers who seek platforms with less censorship and more aligned with their values. So if you're a creator out there who obviously don't want to be censored as much, they're saying they don't censor you as much. So that might be a good thing, right? Who knows? Now, here's YouTube's dominance, according to this article that I'm reading, right? I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, guys. I'm just telling you this is an article research that I've done, and I'm just reading from the article. This is not my opinion. This is from the article. YouTube's dominance, vast user base. YouTube boasts over 2.70 billion monthly active users, dwarfing Rumble's user base. YouTube got 2.7 billion monthly active users. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. Global reach. Here's YouTube's global reach. YouTube is deeply integrated into global internet usage with a massive audience across demographics. Content diversity. YouTube offers a vast library of content across all genres, while Rumble's content is more niche focused. And again, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, guys, I like Rumble not because they're trying to be YouTube or any of that. I like Rumble because they offer an alternative to YouTube. And that's healthy, I think. I don't think there should be one streaming / video platform that dominates everything and there's no room for anybody else. I think there's always room for healthy competition. That's why I like Rumble, because I believe it's healthy competition. I also like Rumble because they have more than one line of business. They also had the cloud servicing business and they got that locals.com thing. So they got more than one line of business. I like that. Now, mature platform. Obviously, that's YouTube. YouTube has a well-established infrastructure, algorithm, and discoverability features. Why Rumble won't replace YouTube but still can thrive. This is my point. So this is what the article is talking about. And then we're going to go to the numbers. Why will Rumble not replace YouTube, which they won't, but they can still thrive? And that's the part I like, that can still thrive. They can still build a big business, guys, that I can benefit from as a shareholder of a company like this, right? Potentially, I could potentially do that. Again, not financial advice. You got to go out and do your own homework. You need to go get you a financial advisor, a licensed financial advisor, if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions. I'm not here to make financial decisions for you. I'm here to share an idea that I'm looking at to grow my wealth. You got to go talk to your financial advisor or be prepared to make your own decisions independent of me, because I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So why Rumble won't replace YouTube but can still thrive? Rumble's niche focus is one of their big factors. While appealing to a specific audience, Rumble's niche focus limits its ability to attract a mass market audience like YouTube. But they don't need a mass market audience like YouTube. They don't. There's only one YouTube, guys. There's only one silverback gorilla. When you go into Africa or any of these places where these gorillas are, you ain't got 3 silverbacks there. You got 1. And all the rest of them just regular gorillas. You get 1 silverback. You don't get 3 of them. But guess what, though? Them other non-silverbacks that are trying to be a silverback can still have dominance in some area of their community, right? Same with Rumble. They don't have to be YouTube to be successful. Discoverability challenges. YouTube's sophisticated AI-powered recommendation system makes it easier for creators to reach new audiences, right? So in conclusion, guys, while Rumble offers strong alternative to YouTube, particularly for creators seeking better revenue and monetization options. So that's the key. If you're a creator, if you're somebody that believes in us, in a company like this that could potentially offer those things and then grow their business, I think they will grow the business, guys, because you got more and more people every single day wanting to be able to tell their story. And you got more and more people that want to tell their story in their own way. They don't want to be strapped down by, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't this, you can't that. Most people, a lot of people will gravitate to a platform that allows them completely to say whatever they want to say. I'm not saying that's bad or good. I'm just telling you a lot of people like that. They like to be able to go somewhere where they can just say what's on their mind and not have to worry about being censored and all that other stuff. And I'm not saying Rumble won't censor them. I'm just telling you what the article is saying, that they're more lenient. And that may be more attractive therefore bringing more members, more users. I don't know, maybe. But now let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. So here are the numbers. Market cap right now, currently 2.77 billion market cap. So what does that put them, guys? Right? Remember, we got some stages here. You got 0 to 500 million in market cap is a micro company. A little baby gorilla company, right? Just a little baby gorilla, can't even walk yet. And then you got small cap from 500 million to 2 billion. Now they're starting to walk. Little gorilla walking around now, right? Still not full grown, but just a little gorilla. And then you got mid cap, right? Mid cap goes from 2 billion to 10 billion. Oh, now they're starting to run a little bit. Now they're starting to become a little teenager. And then you got the big boys, large cap, 10 billion in market cap and higher. Now you're starting to be a young adult, starting to become a full, mature adult. This company right now is still in the what? They're still in that 2 to 10 billion stage. So they're a small cap. They're just walking around right now, trying to find their way, grow revenue, right? I think a good spot for them to concentrate on is the cloud servicing business. That's what I like. That's what attracted me to this company. Not necessarily the video and this live streaming or this locals.com thing. That's not what really attracted me to it. What really attracted me to it was that cloud provider service. That's the thing that attracted me to Rumble. So that's what I'm hoping they will spend more money and grow that business, because at that point, I think that's the future. This video streaming stuff, I don't know, again, I don't know much about that. Don't get me wrong, could be a big business for them, but I think the even bigger business is the cloud service provider arm. That's the one I think can be a bigger business. But right now, small cap, 2.77 billion. All right, let's look at the 52-week high, $17.40. So somebody at some point believed that this company could be a big company, or they never would have went up to $17.40. Remember, guys, a lot of these little companies like this, they're momentum driven. The stock price goes up with momentum. The stock price goes up on good news or partnerships. All that's momentum, right? But at some point, that momentum gets as high as it can get, and then it starts coming back down to normal. And I think that's what happened with Rumble. At some point over the last 52 weeks, they caught the momentum wave, and then the momentum kind of dropped off a little bit, and now they're down to what they're down to right now. So the 52-week high is $17.40. The 52-week low is $4.92. So for me, that's the base over the last 52 weeks. The base is $4.90 a share. That's the base, the baseline. And then the high point of the stock price over the last 52 weeks is that $17.40. Where do we sit today? Right now, today, we're sitting at an open price of $8.17. That's what the stock opened at today, Monday, August 4th. It got itself all the way down so far today to $8.11. And then the high point for today was $8.33 as of recording this video. So it's well placed right now, guys, in that $8 or so range. The question is, what is going to happen with this company from an analyst standpoint? What are the analysts saying could happen to this stock price over the next 12 months? We'll talk about that in a second. But before that, let's jump into the financials. Let's look at first quarter ending March 31st, 2025, first quarter. Let's look at it and see what this company did. On revenue, they came in at $23.71 million in revenue. That is a 33.63% increase in revenue year over year. Ding, 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 ding. That's good news, guys. Now, it's not monster revenue. It's not Walmart revenue. But guess what? It's positive revenue, and they got a strong positive year-over-year growth in that revenue. I keep telling you guys, in my opinion now, no expert here, just a guy on YouTube. But in my opinion, for these small companies like this, your micros, your small caps especially, those two, the micros and the small caps, it's all about generating revenue right now, guys. They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at generating and growing revenue. That's the key. That's what attracts investors to these little small companies. See, a lot of people are looking for 100-baggers. This can be a 100-bagger for somebody. I'm not saying it's for you. You got to go talk to your financial advisor and get you some professional help. Or if you're interested in making decisions on your own, go do more research. But I'm telling you, in my research, in my opinion, could be a 100-bagger. What is a 100-bagger? For every dollar I invest in this company, I get $100 back on that dollar. That's a 100-bagger. So I keep telling y'all, I'm going to have about 4 or 5 of these 100-baggers in my portfolio, which will represent about 5% of my portfolio. I'm going to have 4 or 5 of these 100-baggers. And if one make it, because I'm not stupid, I know all 5 won't make it, but if one make it, and I invest $10,000 in that one company, and it makes it, one of the 5 make it, and that 10,000 can do its thing. You do the math on it. If I can get a 100-bagger out of one of those 5, it'll be worth it in my opinion. Not your opinion, my opinion. So that's where Rumble falls in for me. I'm looking for these $10, these $15 or less stocks, preferably $10 and under. And I'm going out doing my little research and figuring out, can they potentially be a 100-bagger? Now, again, highly, highly risky. Highly risky. All 5 could go to 0. Don't know. Good news, it's only going to be about 3 to 5% of my portfolio. So if they go to 0, they go to 0. That's the risk that I'm willing to take. So I'm willing to take a larger and higher risk to get a larger and higher return. That's the whole point of these 100-baggers that I'm out here hunting for. That's why I keep telling y'all, don't take my advice. Go talk to a licensed professional before you make any decisions, because I'm not your licensed, because I'm not licensed. Don't take all your financial advice from me. I'm just a guy on YouTube. You go out and do your own research if you're comfortable making your own decisions, or you go out and get you a licensed financial advisor to help you. But revenue is good, in my opinion. Net income, negative 2.65 million. But even though it's negative, it's a better position than they were a year ago, because the net income improved by 93.88% year over year. So although it's a negative, it's a smaller negative than the prior year. Again, like I told you guys in my research, no expert here, just my opinion, the most important thing to these small companies is growing revenue. So what happens is, guys, these companies start, they got no revenue, but they take in a lot of investment to actually get the company going, and everything they're doing to get the company going is an expense. So you have all these expenses, but you don't have a product yet. So you don't have no revenue until you can put product out there or put a service out there. So what happens is, since you're generating all of these expenses, because you're trying to run the business, you're trying to hire people, you're trying to pay for buildings, you're trying to pay for leases, you're trying to R&D stuff, you're doing all of these expenses, but no revenue. Then all of a sudden you get a product and a service ready to go, but you got all these expenses incurred in order to get that product or service ready to go to the market. You finally get it to the market, and then the revenue starts trickling in, but your expenses are gigantic. Your revenue is small. The goal is, over a number of years, is to get the revenue gigantic and bring down the expenses. So at some point, the number one goal for a lot of these companies is to break even. What is break even? When your revenue matches your expenses. That's break even. And then what companies want to do when they break even is they want to move revenue up, but keep expenses lower. Then that gives you what? Net income. That's the reason why their net income is negative, because they're not at break even yet. Their expenses exceed their revenue right now. But that's not a bad thing for investors who believe this company can be a big company. right? That's why people invest in it. That's why the stock price is $8.17 or whatever it is right now, because people believe that this can be a bigger company. Some people believe, investors believe, this company can continue to grow revenue. And a good sign of that is what they did at the end of the first quarter. Their revenue exceeded, well, their revenue didn't exceed expenses, but their revenue increased year over year by 33.68%. That's good news. They just got to keep doing that, and growing it and growing it and growing it. And at some point, their revenue will match their expenses. And then the game plan at that point would be continue boosting up the revenue, keep the expenses lower, increase your net income. But right now, net income is negative 2.65 million, but less than it was a year ago. So that's still good news in my opinion. Now, net profit margin, negative 11.18%. But again, an improvement year over year of 95.42%. It's hard to have a positive net profit margin, guys, if your expenses exceed your revenue. It's pretty much impossible. The only way you get a positive net profit margin is when your revenue exceeds your expenses. And right now, this is still a baby company trying to find its way. That's the reason why I like it. Big risk, but big reward if they can figure out how to find their way. Now, again, not here to try to convince you of anything, just sharing with you the idea that I'm looking at could potentially be a 100-bagger for me and change everything in my life. Now, let's see what the experts are saying. Remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Let me walk you through what the experts are saying. Here's what the experts think about this stock price over the next 12 months. The 12-month forecast for Rumble, ticker symbol RUM, stock, according to various analysts, suggesting a potential price increase. Okay? The average price target among analysts ranged from $13.60 to $20 per share, with some estimates reaching as high as $21. However, there's a range in predictions, right? With some analysts forecasting a lower price of $8. Ding, 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 ding. That's where they're at right now, the lowest. According to the analysts now, not Richard Fain, the analysts. The current consensus among analysts is a hold recommendation. If you don't know what that means, go out and do your homework. Go to Google, ChatGPT, and ask Google or ChatGPT, and they'll tell you what that means. Don't have time today to go through all that because I'm not the expert. So I'm going to miss a bunch of stuff because I'm not the expert. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing an idea. Here's a detailed breakdown. Average price target. The average 12-month price target is around $13.60 to $15. Listen, guys, this thing is trading at $8 a share. The average price target, they're saying, is ranging from $13.60 to $15. Let's just say you get yourself to 14. You're in the 8s right now. That's potentially a $6 per share upside right there. I'm not saying that that'll happen. I'm just telling you what the experts are predicting. That's what's attractive to me. I'm not the experts. The experts are giving this thing a lowball price of $8, an average price of around 14, and then a through the roof price of around 21. I'm just saying, guys, I'm just telling you what the analysts are saying. So here we go. High and low estimates. Analysts have provided a range of price targets from some as high as $21 and others as low as $8. General consensus. The general recommendation from analysts is a hold on RUM stock. Potential upside. Based on the average price target, some analysts see a potential upside of 46.24% for RUM stock, according to valueinvesting.io. So go to valueinvesting.io, type in RUM, and they'll give you a little bit of their thoughts. Revenue growth. Some reports indicate that the market is revising upward the revenue expectations for Rumble for 2025. So maybe there's some runway for this thing. People thinking the revenue is going to go up. We'll see what they do Q2, right? I haven't looked at the Q2 numbers, but eventually I'm sure I'll see them. And then Q3, Q4. But Q2 are the next step for them, right? We already talked about Q1. Q1 2025 results. Rumble reported 34% revenue increase in Q1, which is seen as a positive sign. Remember, we talked about that revenue. I told y'all. Potential for growth. The company's 34% year-over-year revenue jump and consistent user growth are seen as positive indicators. Again, man, go out and do your own homework. That's just my little research I did, guys. I think Rumble is certainly on my shout list. It's on the 100-bagger list every day, guys, that I can find them. I'm going to introduce to you guys ideas that I'm looking at, trying to figure out how do I grow my wealth to financial freedom and ultimately get to what? Passive income. That's the whole point of this. Again, we'll never put the majority of my long-term wealth building into 100-baggers. I've decided to take 3 to 5% of my portfolio and dedicate that to 100-baggers. And again, now these 100-baggers can go to zero. I could lose every single penny. But if one out of that 5 does what I believe it can do, it's well worth it to me. That's the way I look at it. Remember, 95% of my portfolio, big boy blue chip. ETFs that track the S&P 500 index, information technology, ETF that tracks the information technology sector, and then 20%/15% big boy blue chip Magnificent 7 type companies. And then, of course, 3 to 5% dedicated to 100-baggers, like Rumble, like Intuitive Machines, right? Like APLD, Applied Digital, like Serve Robotics, like SoundHound AI, right? Like Navitas, NVTS, right? So that's where 3 to 5% will go to 100-bagger potential 100-baggers. So you guys get out there and do your own homework, but drop me some comments and let me know what y'all think about Rumble. I like it because it got that 3 lines of business, but I really like it because of what it's doing with its revenue, and hopefully it will continue on that trajectory. I also like that they're a cloud services provider company, albeit small. That's a revenue stream that I believe they can grow. And if they can grow it and grab a little bit of market share, that's a very, very lucrative part of Amazon's business. It's growing more and more, right? Amazon is a large hyperscaler. Google is a large hyperscaler, right? Microsoft is a large hyperscaler. Oracle is a hyperscaler. Intel is a hyperscaler. Those are your top 5 cloud service providers, and they're called hyperscalers. Now, Rumble is nowhere near that. But if they can get a little bit more of that business, I think it would be probably doggone pretty profitable in my opinion. Again, no expert here, just a regular guy giving you his opinion. Please go out and do your own homework. Don't take my advice. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But if you're interested in getting yourself up to $1,000 worth of NVIDIA stock, get down in that description box and click on that first link, which is that Moo link. Dumb folks ain't messing around. They're going to give you up to $1,000 worth of NVIDIA stock when you open up a new Moo brokerage account. Now, of course, you got to make some type of deposit, and that first link will tell you all the deposit options in order to qualify up to that $1,000 worth of NVIDIA stock. Go check it out, guys. Like I said, first link down in the description box. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself today. Go treat yourself to some NVIDIA stock. I don't know why you wouldn't. They're the world's largest company. $4 trillion market cap. Come on, man. This ain't Chinese arithmetic. This is pretty simple stuff, right? This is pretty simple stuff. They're going to give you up to $1,000 in NVIDIA stock based on the deposit that you made. Try out their brokerage app, right? Click on that first link and go try it out. Again, man, Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon, fastest growing financial community on Patreon. We're called the Wealth Builders. All we do in that community is help each other build wealth. Tips, nuggets, best practices, what's working, what's not working, safe haven from the matrix. Because y'all already know what's happening up there in that matrix. That 1%ers, they are trying to crush you financially. The 1% are trying to handcuff you and never let you out of them handcuffs. And if you ain't got somebody to bounce ideas off of and be in a community that's going to try to help you get to financial freedom, no experts, nothing's guaranteed, just regular, everyday people from all around the world who are headed in one direction. Financial freedom plus passive income equals independence. That's it. That's it. If you want to be a part of that type of movement, second link down in the description box is the Wealth Builders Financial Community. Let me tell you that one more time. Financial freedom plus passive income equals independence. If you want independence, man, you got to have financial freedom that generates passive income. Simple, pretty simple. Like I said, man, if you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy. Get yourself wealthy. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the next one. Peace.